Hi everybody, welcome to
Comic Gamer Movie Show.
And today we are bringing you
our review of the Mandalorian trailer. It came out yesterday, so no
day late,
and a dollar short.
And a dollar short.
But
because we went to go see Ready or Not, and that was a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, but this trailer came out yesterday, and it's the #1 trending thing on YouTube right now. So that should just tell you how
I'm actually excited for it.
This thing,
for once, about Star Wars.
This is gonna be a crazy thing to say. This might be the first time that I'm more excited about the Star Wars thing than you are.
I know, right?
I am so hyped.
Ryan Johnson, you fucking broke me.
I'm so hyped for this. First of all, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni is working on this. If you don't know who Dave Filoni is the guy who created Rebels and Clone Wars. He did the animated shows. He's the one who did.
So he's got a lot of clout in Star Wars, and I never saw Rebels.
He wrote and
created. I can't say, but I did like Clone Wars a lot.
He's not only did he write and direct those, he's one of the few people who got the blessing of George Lucas. Like George Lucas is like he knows what he's talking about. So that should just tell you. Right, fuck Johnson. But anyway. And then you got him working on this, along with Jon Favreau, who worked on The Jungle Book, who worked on Iron Man 1, who worked on The Lion King. This is a guy who knows what he's doing. Happy Hogan. He's a guy who knows what he's doing. I mean...
I feel like, though, he is kind of a Star Wars fan in and of himself.
He's
been around the sci-fi shit, superhero sci-fi shit for so long. It's like, it's rubbed off on him. I think the two of them are going to hit Mandalorian.
Like, think about that. You got this great guy who knows how to make a cinematic thing work, and then you got this guy who knows and loves Star Wars. Mm-hmm. That's a match made in heaven right there. You're going to get the lore correct. You're going to get this, it's going to just be...
You're going to get this badass element to it. I feel like Disney's just going to say, you know what, go at it.
Pedro Pascal, who you might know from as Pena from Narcos, and Tequila from... No, was it Whiskey or Tequila from Kingsman 2?
Whiskey
from
Kingsman
Tequila
2. was Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Whiskey from Kingsman 2.
Yeah.
So you got...
Don't remember his name, but it's the same guy. That guy.
I know his name. Pedro Pascal. And he's a great actor. Watch Narcos. Narcos made me go, this dude can act. He is playing the title character of the Mandalorian. Now, to be fair, throughout the course of the trailer, you never see him take his helmet off and you never hear him speak. Which leads a lot of people to suggest that maybe...
very Dredd-like.
Yeah,
but
very Dredd-like, yeah. Yeah, but it leading a lot of people to go like, is he gonna take his helmet off at any point? Like, what's gonna happen with him? Is it gonna just be a mystery of how he came here, how he got here in the first place? Mm-hmm. But just to get into the trailer, it really is like this gritty side of Star Wars. I mean, it starts off with stormtroopers' heads on the spikes, and just like you just see wildlands and Death Troopers are out and about, and they look like they're attacking a small town. Because this takes place right after Return of the Jedi, and this takes place right after the Empire has fallen, and the galaxy is in like chaos
and very, very, very big power vacuum, and it looks like that Leia and Luke and all them haven't founded the New Republic, or are in the process of founding the New Republic. So until that happens, and even if that does happen, who knows how long it's going to take to restore order. So for right now. No, there is no order.
Yeah.
It is the Wild West all over again.
It's the
Mandalorians, if they're good at one thing, it's being space cowboys.
Pretty much. And you got this Mandalorian who's out bounty hunting. You get a glimpse at Carl Weathers, who I've read up and I've heard said that he's like the bounty, like he runs a bounty hunting guild, and he's like the guy who pays the hunters to go out and do stuff. But apparently in this world, bounty hunting isn't as profitable as it used to be. Like, I forget why, but apparently it's not as profitable as it used to be, so people are doing more desperate things for bounties and whatnot. You get a glimpse at Carl Weathers, you get a glimpse at another character who's it's a female in here. You see her, she's got like kind of a poncho thing on. She's apparently a former rebel fighter who's trying to find a life out after rebellion, because that's like any war. Like, if you survive it, it's just like,
what do I do now?
Now what? And, so there's this show is going to go into what happens to normal people when this shit's going on. Mm-hmm. What happens to people who aren't Skywalkers, who aren't Han Solo after this shit doesn't, what happens to these people when this shit's going on?
We shall see.
And it has this like fucking John Wayne / like Clint Eastwood style
of West.
West, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be like if Clint Eastwood and John Wayne was like in space.
Pretty much. It's like,
and that's something I cannot wait for.
Like, honestly, there's even a shot of him walking in a desert with the sun to his back.
Yeah, very like, Western.
I'm just like, dude,
this is Star Wars.
Yeah, this is Star Wars, but it's so like, because like when you hear Jon Favreau talk about it, he says how he pitched it to them was like a man with no name, dollars trilogy, a man with no name, good, bad, the ugly. That's how he pitched it to him. And outer space, and I'm just like, and a lot of people were worried too. A lot of people were worried that they wouldn't be able to do this hardcore. Like, oh, it's PG-13. I mean, how hardcore can you really get with PG-13? And I always told
it's Star Wars. It's pretty easy because one, blasters, they don't cause you to bleed.
Yeah.
It's lightsaber. Well, there's probably no lightsabers, but anyway. But the only real gruesome thing I saw, and there was part of the trailer where like he kicked a dude into one of those weird like I don't know what to call them, but they're like butthole doors. I don't know. I don't know what to call them. They're
called
like
an iris door. It's called iris. That's an iris.
An iris door? Is that what they're called? No shit.
Yeah.
But he pushed me to an iris door and closed it. So that was.
By the way, that skill, they told a lot in that scene. It told you he's a man who knows what he's doing. I mean, that's not something you can just do on the fly. Like, he thought, I'm going to wheel him in, pull him in, I'm going to shoot this door, it's going to close and chop him in half.
Pretty much.
But you can get away with that because it's green blood and shit.
Instances of sex or something? Because remember the Twi'lek?
Oh, yeah, when she winked at him. But, I mean, that could have just been
Could have been anything, but I'm just like, man, Star Wars never really touches on that too much. So we'll see. Well, we'll see. We shall see.
People are curious of how far they can go with the PG-13. And I'm like, they could go pretty far if they want to, you know? Like people underestimate. The Dark Knight was PG-13, people. The entire Batman trilogy, Christopher Nolan trilogy was PG-13. You know, The Conjuring is PG-13. You know what I mean? Like, you can push it, you know. There's just certain things you can't do, but it works for Star Wars since they have, like, green blood and blue blood and shit like that.
Alien blood, there's not a whole lot of blood, number one. Number two, blasters don't really cause you to bleed outright, so we'll see. The only thing that might be gruesome is, like, if they bring blades and shit into it, then maybe we'll see. But, well, I don't know. That I like the look of the Mandalorian, too.
And there was this awesome droid that was, like...
Oh yeah, it had it was basically like this droid could move its limbs and body in like any 360 direction at like.
By the way, if you want to know something that I haven't told you, you know who voices that droid? Taika Waititi.
Oh fuck!
Korg himself. I'm sure he's gonna give it a different voice, perhaps to like distinguish it from Korg.
Waititi.
But yeah, Taika's doing. He's doing Thor. He directs a couple. He directs an episode of this too.
You don't know what I was doing. The Jawa, it's kind of what the sound they make. Because like his last name kind of sounds like what they would say. Waititi!
But yeah, he's in this.
I hope you see the Jawa.
Dude, the budget for this looks amazing.
Yeah, no,
it looks like a movie. Like, if you didn't tell me it was a show,
I feel like that pilot is going to be like their catalyst show.
Well, the show cost approximately... I don't know how many episodes it is. I think it's a 10-episode show. It's either an 8 or 6. 8 or 6. That's as far... It's an 8-episode show, and I believe they said it cost about $100 million to make. So about a little over $10 million an episode.
That's the quality better be good.
Yeah, but
it's Jon Favreau.
This is going to be a show, dude. This is going to be a movie.
I just hope though that they kind of give Jon Favreau and the other guy this sort of creative freedom.
It seems like they're going.
I hope they really do that.
Because you know what? I told Seth about this before. Like, to me, the Mandalorians have always been one of the most interesting things in the Star Wars world that hasn't really been super explored. Like, there's not a lot of video games and not a lot of books on Mandalorian.
Well, there are books on them, but not like that's about it. So it's like, if you're not like into the books or you're not into the deeper, especially the Old Republic lore, then yeah, you really won't know that much.
To me, I feel like this show is going to literally make a next generation excited about Mandalorians. Yeah. They're going to make them as excited about Mandalorians as Jedi. Because to me, the Mandalorian were always awesome looking. Mm-hmm. Like, when I watched Clone Wars and like saw the actual Mandalorian planet, it's all of armors, it's all how they worked. I was just like, they're so cool. They're like fucking space Spartans, man.
Basically. They're space Spartans, but it just sucks though because in the original you got Boba Fett, which was the only real inkling into the Mandalorians you really found. So it was like,
for a long time they kept them pretty mysterious.
They kept them pretty mysterious too. And, then there was Jango Fett, but again, he wasn't very expanded upon. So,
but like I love, and I'm just like, dude, I love the Mandalorian, because they're all, it's like a planet of badasses.
it is they are the space Spartans in a lot of ways.
And like literally, whenever a Mandalorian shows up in a room, you just know, like, and they played it up too. They played it up like him walking in a bar, like, and it's like.
It got tense real quick.
It makes sense why this would be shaped in terms of a Western. Now, like I said, the big question is: will he take his helmet off? Will you see Pedro Pascal underneath it? Will they explore it? I can't. It seems like someone else pointed out that it seems like it may be flashbacks. So you see a mom holding a son.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a flashback to how he ended up in this way.
Yep.
Though I have heard rumors, and this isn't confirmed, so don't yell at me spoilers, because no one knows if this is true or not. Most half rumors are true, half rumors are false. That he had a family and he lost it, and that's why he's a lone gunslinger.
Makes sense. Isn't that how it usually goes?
Yeah. But yeah, man, like I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to seeing the gritty side. Maybe you might get Java. I mean, he could show up. Is Java dead? Wait, Java's dead after Return, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, you might maybe not Java.
Well, that was the first scene in the.
Yeah, you're right. Is there any other of the Huts? Or was
no, there's a lot more. There's more of them.
So maybe you might.
Jabba's the only one like really infamous you know of.
Yeah, so maybe you might see another Hut because like they're really because all of them work in a criminal organization.
They're all cartels.
Yeah, they're all cartels. So you might see another one. Mm-hmm. So like I'm looking forward to this, man. Like I am really looking forward to this. The gritty side of Star Wars, the dark side, the side that you don't get to see.
Not the Sith. That's not what he meant.
No, not the dark side. The more like the dirty side. To be more specific, the people who are trying to just deal with the aftermath of the great shit that you guys are doing.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that was the one thing too that it's going to give it a hint of realism that Lucas could never give it.
Yeah,
that's the one thing about Star Wars. I'll say it is very far from being anywhere realistic. Great space opera, great movie. Not gonna lie, but man, like when you just sit back and ask certain questions, it just falls fucking apart.
Pretty much, and if it makes you guys feel better, George Lucas was on set for this, man.
Yeah, so
he saw this being made, and I'm just so excited.
He doesn't have total control of this. Thank God.
To be fair, Dave Filoni, the guy who's working on this, who worked on Clone Wars and stuff, he's got his blessing, and George says he knows what he's talking about. So this guy's working on this. You know it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to this. It's the thing I'm looking forward to the most, which is nuts. I'm a Marvel guy. I'm going to talk about that later. It's the next thing I want to talk about is the Marvel stuff that Marvel announced. But I'm a Marvel guy. But this is the thing I'm looking forward to the most. Mm-hmm. I love Mandalorians. I love how their armor looks. It's so unique. It's so cool. It's so badass. And I love the actor playing him. This show is going to rock. So if there's anything else you have to say, we can wrap.
I mean, my biggest thing was I've always wanted to see like Boba Fett in his own movie or his own show or his own anything really.
I know there's a lot of people who are that's what they're mad about. Why isn't it just Boba Fett?
No. And I used to be that guy. Used to be. But I opened my mind to the possibilities of not maybe one instead of one Mandalorian. Why don't we discuss all of them?
It even says it in the bio, like in this world where Jango Fett and Boba Fett, there was another.
Yeah. We'll probably see what they do. Like I said, the Mandalorians are very also kind of isolationist. They kind of keep to themselves. Like Jango, Boba, and this other Mandalorian might be the only ones you really hear about. So hopefully they expand upon it a lot more, and they give you that sort of Boba Fett vibe I was looking for. Now look, am I mad it's not Boba Fett himself?
To be fair,
they
already kind of give you that because his weapon is a weapon that Boba Fett used.
So
that weapon with the prog at the end.
So, oh well. I'm like, you know what? Oh well. You know what? I didn't get quite what I wanted, but I also got something different too. Also, I think you brought this up on the way home. You were like, man, like, is this gonna be the show that everyone wished Bounty Hunter was?
That game is so disappointing, but this can't disappoint me. This looks amazing. I hope it's
so. Good. Hopefully, it's not Bounty Hunter.
And just to let people know, it's confirmed by Disney that it's going to be released weekly. They're not going to release it all at once, like Netflix does. It's going to be a weekly release. Dang. Basically, you got to hold on to this shit for at least a month. For
at least 8 weeks. On purpose, though.
Yeah, they're like, fuck that. I gotta give it to you, watch it, and you leave.
But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts and opinions on The Mandalorian? Put down in the comment section below. We'd love to see your feedback. And thank you for joining us on
Comic Gamer Movie Show.
Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of us in the future. And we shall see you
on the next one.
Goodbye.